Hey everyone, welcome back to VeloView, the channel where we dive deep into the stories, engineering, and emotions behind the world's most iconic cars. Today, we're going on a nostalgic journey back to the year 1970 to explore a true classic that defined an entire era of motoring, the Fiat 600. This little Italian masterpiece wasn't just another small car, it was a revolutionary symbol of freedom, practicality, and charm that captured the hearts of millions across Europe and beyond. In this video, we'll explore every detail of this humble yet historic machine, from its design and engineering to the driving experience and cultural legacy that made it unforgettable. The Fiat 600 was born in the mid-1950s, during a time when Italy was rebuilding itself after the war. The economy was improving, and people were eager to experience the freedom of personal transportation. Designed by the brilliant Dante Giacosa, the Fiat 600 became the answer to that dream. By 1970, the car had reached the peak of its evolution, refined, practical, and deeply beloved by all who drove it. It was small, affordable, reliable, and surprisingly clever in how it used every inch of its space. For many families, this was their very first car, and that emotional connection has kept the 600 alive in the memories of generations. When you first see the 1970 Fiat 600, you can't help but smile. Its rounded, almost bubble-like design gives it a personality that feels friendly and approachable. Measuring just over 3 meters long, it's incredibly compact, yet every curve and contour was shaped with purpose. The car's soft lines, chrome accents, and small circular headlights give it that classic Italian charm, a perfect mix of elegance and simplicity. Even the smallest details, like the chrome bumpers and delicate grille, add to its character. It's a car that looks happy just sitting still, and that emotional warmth is something very few cars ever achieve. Lift the rear engine lid, and you'll find the heart of the 600, a tiny but mighty 633cc, 4-cylinder, water-cooled engine. It might only produce around 22 horsepower, but in a car that weighs less than 600 kilograms, that's enough to make it feel lively and fun. The engine sits at the back, driving the rear wheels, which gives the Fiat 600 excellent traction and balance, especially on narrow and twisty roads. It's not a fast car, with a top speed of around 100 kilometers per hour, but it doesn't need to be. The joy of driving it comes from the connection between the driver, the machine, and the road. It's pure, mechanical honesty, the kind of experience that modern cars, with all their electronics, can rarely offer. The 4-speed manual transmission adds another layer of engagement. Each gear change is a tactile experience, and while the shifts might feel mechanical by today's standards, they remind you that driving once required skill and attention. The clutch is light, the steering is direct, and the suspension, though simple, provides a surprisingly comfortable ride. It soaks up the imperfections of the road while keeping the car stable and predictable. On city streets, the Fiat 600 feels agile and confident. Its small turning circle makes parking effortless, and the view from behind that large curved windshield gives you a perfect sense of control. Step inside, and you're greeted with an interior that is basic yet full of charm. Everything is purposeful, stripped down to essentials but never cold or dull. The dashboard is minimal, with a single large speedometer, a few switches, and that lovely thin-rimmed Fiat steering wheel that feels perfectly balanced in your hands. The seats are slim and upright, offering enough comfort for short trips around town. The cabin can technically seat 4 adults, though longer journeys are best enjoyed with 2 up front and maybe a couple of kids in the back. Despite its tiny footprint, the car's interior packaging was genius. There's space behind the rear seats for small luggage, and the front compartment, though mostly filled by the spare tire and radiator, still offers some storage for tools and essentials. Driving the 1970 Fiat 600 feels like stepping back into a simpler, more human era of motoring. There's no power steering, no digital screens, and no sound insulation to hide the mechanical symphony behind you. You feel the vibrations of the engine, hear every gear engage, and sense the rhythm of the road beneath you. It's a car that rewards gentle driving and patience, one that encourages you to enjoy the journey instead of rushing to the destination. The small 4-cylinder engine hums along happily, and at moderate speeds, the 600 feels perfectly at home. In city traffic, it's playful and easy to maneuver, while on open roads, it offers a surprisingly stable and confident ride for such a small car. One of the Fiat 600's biggest strengths was its efficiency. With fuel consumption around 5 to 6 liters per 100 kilometers, it was among the most economical cars of its time. That made it incredibly affordable to own, especially in an era when running costs were a major concern for families. Maintenance was straightforward too. The engine was easy to access, parts were cheap, and mechanics everywhere knew how to work on it. This combination of affordability, simplicity, and dependability made the 600 a global success. Beyond its engineering, the Fiat 600 became a cultural phenomenon. In Italy, it was more than transportation, it represented independence, progress, and optimism. It became part of the country's post-war identity, appearing in movies, advertisements, and everyday life. In Spain, where it was built under license as the Seat 600, it became a national treasure. For many Spanish families, it was the car that marked their first taste of freedom. Versions were also built in Argentina and Yugoslavia, proving that its appeal transcended borders and cultures. It wasn't just a car, it was a movement. By 1970, the Fiat 600 had already influenced an entire generation of small car design. It paved the way for successors like the Fiat 850, which carried forward its legacy with more power and refinement. But no matter how advanced the later models became, they could never fully replicate the simplicity and spirit of the 600. Even today, more than half a century later, the Fiat 600 remains a favorite among collectors and enthusiasts. Restoring one is like bringing a piece of history back to life. Its mechanical simplicity and abundance of spare parts make it a joy to work on, and once restored, it stands as a living reminder of an era when driving was pure, uncomplicated, and emotional. What makes the 1970 Fiat 600 truly special is how it connects with people. It reminds us that great cars aren't defined by horsepower or luxury but by the joy they bring and the memories they create. This tiny machine offered freedom to millions, carried families on their first vacations, and gave ordinary people the chance to explore their world. It may be small, but its legacy is huge. Even today, when you see one gliding down the road, you can't help but feel a sense of admiration for what it represents, a perfect blend of simplicity, ingenuity, and soul. So that's the full story of the 1970 Fiat 600, a timeless piece of automotive history that continues to inspire admiration and nostalgia wherever it goes. If you ever get the chance to drive one, don't hesitate. Experience the charm, feel the connection, and understand why this little Italian icon became one of the most beloved cars in the world. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into the Fiat 600, make sure to hit the like button, drop a comment about your favorite classic car, and don't forget to subscribe to VeloView for more heartfelt reviews and stories from the golden age of motoring. Until next time, keep your passion alive and your wheels turning. This is VeloView, signing off.